I was there. There was no camera. How do
Yeah,
you get all the details?
they do.
They do
They get it.
because you don't know that the cameras are around.
Yeah.
You never really know where they are. And it doesn't they try to be so inconspicuous.
Yeah, they're not.
And because
But
then
they
you let
try.
your
Yeah.
guard down and you're just having an intimate conversation and every word
Yeah.
is being captured.
Everything.
Everything.
Yeah. Yes, yes, and yes. So, I mean, maybe it's not, possible to remain friends. I mean, look, Portia and Shamia, I hope that they remain friends, but Portia has said, like, it's not a falling out, but yeah, the show has driven a little bit of a wedge between the two of them. So, maybe it's just the job is to pick a side and have an opinion and have fights. And I just think it's in Janice and, okay, they weren't best friends, but Denise and Rinna have been in the business together. Now, I don't think
Right.
they've gone for the same parts, but
Right.
they have been on the soap scene, that like that B
Correct.
plus list
Yes.
actress
No,
in the 80s and 90s. Denise
Oh
was
yeah.
on Melrose and 90210 for certain appearances. So like
Yeah.
they're in the same category.
I know, but
Here we
David,
are.
there's a huge difference when you're an actor
Hmm.
And then reality
and
percent.
you're
Yeah.
portraying a character.
Correct.
So that character could be a bitch. That character could be this horrible human, the killer, the whatever. And then you can walk away from it and nobody can say anything to you, even though that could be a lot of your characteristics, the reason why you're playing that role. But they can't say anything to you because it's a role.
As an
But
actor,
as an actor, but when you're in
Yeah.
reality, they see you. The
everything.
words coming out of your mouth are your words. Your
Yeah.
actions that you're doing are your actions. The feelings that you have are raw and they're yours. You have to own them.
Yes.
And that you just can't hide behind a role. You're not portraying a character, you're playing
You're being yourself.
yourself.
Yeah,
I
well, Hannah Berner from Summer House did an interview like a few weeks ago where she said, it's kind of hard when I got fired from Bravo and Summer House because like you're being fired for like being yourself. She's like,
so,
it's
Right.
not fun. Like you're basically being fired for
Right.
you.
which is the
Yeah.
reason why you signed up. That's the reason why they hired you to
Pretty
begin
much.
with. And then they
Yeah.
promote, just be yourself.
Yeah. Then they fire you for being yourself.
So you don't think there's any hope for Rinna and Denise?
I don't think so.
You know what?
Maybe.
I hope there is for the two beautiful humans that they are, and not to allow something like a show to
Mhm.
come between them. And
Yeah.
just at least to be friends again in a way that they can find their way back to each other in the way that things could be. That's all. I love
Yeah,
that
I
people.
agree with you, but like it just shows you like the power of Housewives because like hidden people that are listening hate Lisa Rinna. I know, but I don't. So like you have this icon, Lisa Rinna, who's like, Days of Our Lives and then Melrose and just has this really staying power in this industry, which is so fucking hard. Now
Yeah.
she's reinvented herself again, the podcast, the fashion, everything. It's that blip of Housewives. Now it was 8 years. She did it really well. So it's like that's the blip that like did her dirty and she has this great career before and this great career after. Now you take Denise Richards, icon,
Right.
icon. I mean, we're talking like right, Bond girl, icon. Now she has this career. I mean, people that hated her on Housewives are loving her on this show. So
Right.
the blip in her career is Housewives, where they just did her dirty in an upside down jacket and you're stoned or whatever the fuck it was, and the husband is like, "Oh, get me away from these women." So it's like your
Yeah.
career is this and that before and
Right.
after. It's just Housewives, it's not a winning formula. Like you will eventually be done dirty. Everybody.
Yeah. Of course. One season. Someone is good. Yeah. One season. There's a formula there. Definitely.
And look, Adrienne didn't go to the reunion because they were about to do her really dirty.
Really
And
bad.
she's like,
Yeah.
I have money and I don't need this. Now you're coming after my actual real fucking family. What the hell am I doing here?
Correct. Correct. And I respect her for that.
Yeah, me too.
But
I-
Adrienne is if you knew
She was too
Adrienne,
classy for it.
she's
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean Taylor Armstrong, you have Camille,
Mhm.
You have Adrienne.
Are you putting Taylor Armstrong in the same category as Camille and Adrienne, these two glamorous,
We're
rich?
friends with all of them, so
No,
Oh,
but
well,
no,
sorry.
but think about this. They all started the housewife Beverly Hills and where they
Mhm.
used to live in Beverly Hills.
yeah,
They did Beverly Hills things. They supported the Beverly Hills community
correct.
and were, like matriarchs into the communities that they had created. They were the authentic
What I loved about
self.
the original Housewives is that they showed their businesses. They showed like their real in their life, in their
Yeah.
daily lives. Now it's just basically really there's a formula. You're fighting with someone, you show up at a restaurant, you do this, you do that. They're
Yeah,
not
I
really
don't
giving us a peek into their
no,
private
I
lives.
want to
No.
like I'm not seeing their houses
Yeah,
or their modern ranches.
yeah.
It's a letdown. I'm disappointed. I don't need to see no modern ranch. I
You
want to
don't.
I want to see something I can't live in and afford, like
Show me a house
Adrian's
in
house.
Beverly Hills
Yeah.
and Encino and tell me
Yeah.
it's on Housewives Beverly Hills.
I want to see Adrian's place,
I
which is Limoges.
Yeah.
I want to see the crystal that's baccarat.
Yes.
I want to see shit that's been hand carved and etched that when you
Oh.
pour that wine
Oh,
out of
I'm okay with that.
$3,000.
Like
I want to
I'm like okay with
I
that.
want to see Adrienne Maloof's bathroom. You go in her bathroom,
it's
it's
a
like
whole
a
wing.
fucking wing. It's a house. She has a massage chair, a giant TV. She's got a huge walk-in closet. She's got the purse closet, the shoe closet. She has the gowns.
No.
She has the bathroom.
Then you walk through
Oh,
the hallway.
a massage station.
Wait, you walk through the hallway, there's a boudoir on the other side. It's a whole fucking wing. I'm like, it's like 4,000 square feet. I'm like, you could get lost in just this fucking space. You never
Just
have
the
to
bathroom.
leave. And
I'd like to see that too. Yes.
there is a separate entrance for
Yes.
the staff.
Yes.
They don't come in the front door.
Of course not, darling.
They come from the backside, and there's a kitchen.
Yeah.
There's like a little setting area so that they can prepare things so that it's fresh to be able to deliver to our bedroom. I'm like,
Yeah.
that's what I want to see, bitch. That's what I want to see.
Honey,
Elevator in her house.
to go from floor 1 to floor 2.
Yes.
Honey, I have been saying this for 2 decades now, okay? I have been saying I want all the housewives that don't have real money off the damn screen, and I just want to see the rich ones.
I agree.
Again, you have the richest
But
city.
But I think what they're afraid of, the real rich ones,
They don't want to expose
don't
themselves.
want to
No.
compromise their life.
Who would? Who would?
Yeah.
The real rich ones laugh at the housewives. It is the laughing stock of their community.
Yeah, because they don't need it.
Look, Sutton is, yes, she's holding on to her diamond, but listen, a couple of things. I think there has to be a change. Who would I get rid of? It's not like I want Kyle to stay. I just think they would never get rid of her. I don't think this is my prediction. I think next season, look, we've had 2 seasons of it having been all about Kyle. This season's all